Hey everybody. Hi. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, but right now I just want to say hello. Hi. This is Tamiya Robles. Welcome to my podcast, Credit and First Time Home Buyers. Nope, that's not it. Let's start again. Welcome to my podcast, Coast to Coast Credit. I am Tamiya Robles. I am the owner of Fix My Credit Now, a50.com. And this is my podcast. Welcome. So I'm not gonna just jump into it mad hardcore. I actually blasted this to way more people than I typically do. So there's gonna be people hopping on, hopping off. Uh, so I just want to give it respectfully a few minutes. But anyway, welcome to my podcast. It's every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we talk about credit related issues, topics. Anybody that has questions or concerns, feel free to leave that in the comments. Okay. My information is listed. If you want to schedule a free consultation with me, you can go to fixmycreditnow850.com, and then you can schedule a consultation. And you can also call me, you can email me. My email address is fixmycreditnow850 at yahoo.com. All right. So definitely reach out. But yeah, so I'll get the party going just a little bit. Like I said, let me make sure my phone is off. I had a mad weird day today. I got some weird information today. So it's throwing me off a bit. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today in particular is basically credit repair, building your credit, and then after that, what happens after that. Um, um, in between time, I'll still talk about bankruptcies and whatever's necessary. And if you have questions that is the topic of today's title, that's totally fine because it all intertwines with each other. It's all related to credit. So when you come to me, most of y'all are scheduling appointments again. Thank you. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to the new clients that are scheduling consultations with me and actually signing up and moving forward and taking their credit seriously. But when you sign up with me, um, I give you credit education if you don't already have that, if you don't know what to do. I hear what you have to say, I hear you out, but the ultimate plan is to have a plan. Okay, go into this knowing, hey, I need to fix my credit. It's going to cost something, it's going to take X amount of time. What should I do in the meantime? Right. And what am I going to do after I fix my credit? What are the plans? What are the goals here? Some people come to me because they're ready to purchase a home, or they want to purchase a home, or they want to purchase a car, or they want credit for positive credit so they can get high business credit, whatever the case. But definitely you want to start off having a plan. All right. Now, if you struggle having a plan, if you're just like, hey, I just know I need to fix my credit, that's cool. And you just need a little guidance, you can still schedule a consultation with me. I have this thing where you've seen my videos where I'm like, listen, do not call me if you're just gonna chit chat and ask me a whole bunch of questions. Only call me if you're serious, right? You can call me if you're serious and ready to start your credit repair, but if you also need help creating and structuring a credit repair plan. You don't want to go into this blindly. You don't want to go into credit repair just like, I just need to fix my credit, that's it, because you're going to be making a whole lot of mistakes. Some of the clients that I've had in my past, they've come back where I fixed their credit, they got what they wanted and whatever they needed, and they were approved, and then they destroyed their credit again. Second time around, they have a better plan, right? You don't want to go through that extra step unnecessarily. It can be expensive, and it's just a waste of time. So definitely come to me with a plan on what you want to do. So I'm going to ask you, why do you want to fix your credit? Are you trying to purchase a home, a car? You just want good credit? What's up? Right? Then we'll talk about that. And then we'll go into what I see on your credit report and I explain it. Sometimes I could be a little teachy, but that's for your benefit, right? So we'll go into that. I'll develop a plan of action for you. So I hear your needs and then I explain to you how this works and what needs to be done. And then we move forward. So you definitely want to repair your credit. So when you repair your credit, you can definitely go to fixmycreditnow850.com and we can do it for you. If you choose not to go with me, that's fine. Some people want to do it themselves. That's fine as well. But you again want to go into credit repair DIY with a plan as well. Understand how the credit industry works. Understand that there's a lot of changes. Understand that if you're going to teach yourself credit repair and do it for yourself, that everyone has their own way of doing things. They have their own method, they have their own technique, and it doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just different. What you want is what's effective. When you pick a credit repair specialist, you want to make sure you're getting someone that's effective. If you're doing it yourself, you want to make sure you have effective dispute letters. This is important. This is what you need. Or you're doing all of this for nothing. You're wasting time and you're wasting money. And you won't get what you need done in a decent time. Okay. So try to find a good credit repair agency. I did a video on this on how to choose a good credit repair specialist or a good company. And one of the major signs is they educate you, they communicate with you, and they do a lot of follow-ups with you. Okay. Some clients are telling me that they experienced credit repair specialists that would make them mail their own letters out. I talked about that before. I personally don't do that for my clients. I'm not here to judge. I mean, if they've been doing business that way and it works for them, then kudos. But this is an industry where people don't necessarily, they're not really financially responsible. So if you're not financially responsible and you're not consistent financially, why would I expect you to be responsible for mailing out letters? So I don't have my clients mail out letters. I mail the letters. The cost is on me, not on my client. So, but it's just a matter of opinion. Whatever works for them, as long as you're getting results. You want to look for results. Keep in mind, results are not overnight. Some people can work magic and they know hacks and things like that, and that's fine. There's no judgment with that. I do hacks myself, so I get it. Um, it's not illegal. But if something seems illegal or questionable, all you got to do is ask. Ask the person, like, oh, or can you do that? Right? Like, how does that work exactly? And it's not a secret. We shouldn't have a secret about your account and how we're going to move on your account. The person should be able to tell you. They don't have to go in specific details because yes, this is a business. They don't want to give you the secret sauce, but for the most part, they should tell you how they're going about these hacks, right? Just so you know you're dealing with someone straight. And the reason why this is important is because, as we all know, the credit repair industry has had a bad reputation since forever, since its existence. Okay. So there are some of us that will come out here and take your money and don't actually fix your credit and can't give you results and take 2 3 years and you're constantly paying them with not much of a difference in your credit report. We're all not like that. We're all not like that. Some of us have gone to jail before. Some of us are in jail. I get it. I hear all the horror stories from my customers. I personally don't follow credit repair specialists like that because everybody has their own technique, right? I have my own thing, but I hear the horror stories. We are all not like that. So make sure you do your research. You take the initiative to follow up and see what type of credit repair specialist you're dealing with. If you're going to do it yourself and you're following an individual who provides DIY letters, who provides courses and education, just see what type of results people are getting with their letters. And sometimes look at the reviews. It's hard to say because I've helped a lot of people, and the people I've helped the most get the highest credit score, get into a house. Sometimes those people have cause me problems. So I don't know. So I can't always say the reviews, but if everywhere you look, this credit company is being negatively reported, or there's a whole lot of complaints, then I would reconsider, like, maybe this isn't the person I need to go to, right? So, and it's not always the flashiest credit repair specialist you want to go to. It's not always the loudest. It's whoever is effective. Whoever is effective, whoever makes sense, whoever is willing to communicate to you, take the time out, whether it's you or somebody on their team. Okay, so that's how you pick out a credit repair specialist, and that's how you figure out DIY, if you want to do it yourself. Once you start the credit repair process, and once you start seeing results, for sure, you want to start having a plan or start working on the plan that you've created. You want to build on your credit. So, what I mean by building is, okay, so if you had bad credit, maybe you didn't have a high credit score because your utilization was high on your credit cards, then structure a plan either on your own or ask your credit repair specialist. I do this with my clients all the time, on how to pay your credit cards down. If you know that your credit repair specialist or the company knows exactly what they're doing, they should be able to take the time out and explain exactly which cards to pay, when, what time, right? How much? Because you don't have to pay it all at once. Sometimes people are, like, for example, I have a client now. I think her credits, her utilization, no, all her credit cards are over, I think, 80,000. And she's pretty much maxed them out. I think she's at 80% utilization, and she wants to increase her credit score, but she can't because she doesn't have the money to pay it back. So I told her, get a trade line, right? If you get a trade line, everything averages out. So it will bring her 80% down, probably to 10, not 10%, probably, I don't know, I'm just taking a guess, but 80%, if she has a good trade line, maybe 30%. Okay. If not more, there's ways around this. And then that's one way. Or one of the things I do is I talk to my clients and I say, let's look at all of your credit cards. Let's see when they're due, when the bill is due, how much it's for. And if they're on a tight budget, we'll work out and basically a structured plan on what should be paid first. If it's a minimum balance that you can afford, cool. I'm not a firm believer in paying the minimum balance, but you want to make sure you're at least making payments on time and not missing a payment. So you want to build on your credit. You want to start working on bettering your credit in the areas that you can control while you're waiting for your credit score and your credit report to be updated. So understand the credit bureaus have 30 to 45 days to respond. We are approaching the holidays, so they're not really going to respond like that. Just so you know, they're going to be slow. They're going to be out just like any other company's employees. Holiday time, the season, they're just not going to be working. So you want to develop a plan, brace yourself, prepare yourself for the results that you may get. And then if you are looking for a house, I do tell people, even though you're saying I'm going to purchase a home in 6 months, it's still good to connect with a real estate agent. I deal with them all the time. I have a Facebook group called Credit and First Time Home Buyers Plug. That's the one I was talking about when I first came in here. There's tons, I think over 1,200 real estate agents nationwide in that group. Find yourself a real estate agent now. Let them know everything about yourself, what you're trying to do, how soon you're trying to purchase a home. Don't wait till the last minute to try and purchase a home. Okay. Don't try to rush, because things need to be done and things need to be worked on, and you need to make time for the steps that need to be taken to purchase a home. And that includes getting your credit repaired. That includes looking for a house. That includes the negotiations, so on and so forth. So find yourself a real estate agent who works the areas that you're trying to move to, and build a relationship with them. I said it in my other video. I had a real estate agent with when I got this house. I'm on the West Coast. So when I tried to get this house, I had to go through like several real estate agents because I didn't mesh well with them, and they didn't have my best interest at heart. So, and I know I needed to quickly go to the West Coast, so I needed somebody who was always going to be on their feet, that they were going to do their job. I'm still running a company here, still fixing credit so other people can get in the house. So I'm not going to be harassing you like, this is what I need. I need to move it. And sometimes you just don't get a good real estate agent. But if you can take the time out, put that in your plan, that as I'm fixing my credit, I'm also going to work on my credit card utilization, lower that. I'm going to start looking for a real estate agent. If it's multiple people I need to interview, so be it. This is the time that you want to work on building your credit while your credit is being fixed. Okay. If you're not trying to purchase a home while you're doing your whole credit repair thing, and you're trying to, let's say, purchase a car, or you're trying to get business credit. So we'll take the car first. When you're trying to get pre-approved for a car, really all they care about is a score. They don't do the whole debt to income ratio thing, not for real, for real. So you want to focus on your score. So see how long, get a rough estimate on how long it's going to take for your credit to be repaired by your credit repair specialist. And then start car shopping and doing what you need to do. If they're fast and effective, if there's not a lot that needs to be done on your credit report, then it shouldn't take long to fix it or get you the score that you need. Sometimes it's a simple fix. Sometimes you don't need credit repair. Sometimes you just need your utilization to be lowered. Maybe you need a trade line. It's usually pretty simple. It's not too involved when it comes to um, getting a loan for a car loan. Now, if you want business credit, so again, while you're getting your credit fixed, you want to start building, right? And you want to start working on your plan. Business credit, if you're looking for like numbers, huge loan, things like that, yes, they are going to make you a personal guarantor. So they're going to check your personal credit. You want to have the most perfect credit score possible. You want your profile to be the truth, right? You don't want any more than two inquiries, if that. Okay. You don't want open collections. You don't want new collections. You don't want any collections if you really are serious about this. But closed collections are usually cool with anybody, but preferably no collection showing, no charge offs, no missed payments for sure. Because if you have missed payments, especially nowadays, what's going on is just drastically dropping your score. One missed payment, one 30-day missed payment can drop you, like I said in my other videos, and I'll put my videos up so you can reference them if you want. They could drop your credit score like 80 points. Okay. So if you have a bunch of missed payments, imagine what your credit score looks like. Okay. I have a guy now I'm working with. He has this one account has a ton of missed payments on there, and he is in the 500s, but as soon as it comes off, he'll probably shoot up back to the 700s. Okay. So definitely work on that. Business credit, make sure you have established your business. You have your EIN number, you have your Secretary of State, whatever you need in your state, make sure you have it together so it's no issues. Once you fix your credit, you can just instantly start applying for things and getting approved. But you have to have a solid, legitimate business, obviously. Okay. So that these are some of the things that you want to do. I can go into it in detail if you want me to get more into each topic in much more detail and do specific videos in depth. Let me know, leave a comment, and I'll definitely do so. But for the sake of this live, I'm just kind of just skipping over some things, touching on things here and there. What else? What else? People that just want good credit. So if you just want good credit, you're not really trying to use your credit for anything, I still say you should have a plan. The plan is, what if you do want something in the future? Okay, plan now to have solid, positive credit and be consistent. In case in the future, whether it's 2 years from now, 5 years from now, you have no worries, you know your credit's straight. Okay, you still need a plan with that, but you do have time. So nothing should be urgent for you. Nothing should be urgent for the credit repair specialist. So you're good to go from there. So now we're past the credit repair part. Now we're going to move to what you do after you fix your credit. Okay. You'll need to build on it or continue to build on your credit report. So, one of the things that I see a lot of people do, and I did a video on this too, I'll do another video, is they get secured credit cards. Okay. First of all, if your credit is cool and it's been fixed, stop doing secure credit cards. Leave that to the children, for the teenagers, for the college students, maybe people that are new to credit. I don't know. Not even them, but leave it for the kiddies or something. But a secure credit card is basically telling the world or telling other banks, whoever's looking at your credit, that hey, I am not responsible enough to take care of my own somebody else's money. But I can't really take care of my own money, but I'm going to put my money up and the bank is going to watch me and see how I do. They're going to watch how I get down with my own money. And you don't want that. You don't want the world to know that. That's what a secure credit card is. And then the type of secure credit card you get tells a lot about who you are. I could tell a lot about my clients just by looking at their credit report. I could tell what type of jobs they get. I could tell if they're responsible or not with money, if they make their payments on time, if they're consistent or not, right? Because that also lets me know if they're going to pay me on time, if they're serious or not. I can see all of that, right? So what you want to do is what you want to do is you want to not get a secured credit card, and certainly don't get those credit secure credit cards like Chime, I think is one. Chime reminds me of back in the day. I'm gonna show my age right now, but Chime reminds me of back in the day we used to have the rush cards and the payday cards and the like those cards where your paycheck goes on a debit card and then you can make payments and stuff. And when that's on your credit report, like your credit report is a report, it's reporting to everyone, hey, this is how, hey, DJ Jones. I want to say you're my faithful viewer when I go live. Rush card, the rush card, right? But then remember, then the rush had the baby fat because oh my gosh, I'm showing my age. Because what's his name? It was they married each other. They're married to each other. I know his name, I see his face. But so it was the rush card, then it was baby fat, and then they made it look like you had like a platinum card, but it's still a rush card, right? But if I were to see anyone with a rush card or Chime or any type of secured credit card, I'm going to look at that person and say, okay, they don't they're not responsible with money. So if you fixed your credit, you don't need to get a secured credit card. Go for the big boys. You don't have to ask for hundreds of thousands of dollars because you're probably not really going to get it, not on a personal side, maybe on the business side, but be realistic. Ask for 25,000 with the Navy Federal. Ask for 10,000. They're going to, what are they going to say? They're going to say no, but we could give you this, right? What is no? You've been hearing no this whole time because your credit has been trashed this whole time. Your credit has been trashed. Okay. But now it's better. Now you've opened the doors for yourself for better opportunities. So go after the money. That's how you build. Having a secure credit card, if you already have it on your credit report, that's cool. I'm not going to take it off, especially if it's in good standing. But it just be aware that it tells the world that you weren't really responsible. But if you've had it for a while, it's also saying there was a point in time they weren't responsible, but they have been responsible for X amount of years or X amount of time. Now, what I do tell my clients that have secure credit cards and they've had them for a long time, after it depends on what bank you bank with, but after say about a good year, some banks are, I think Capital One is, unless they change, it used to be every 4 months. If you're making your payments on time or early, they bump you to an unsecured credit card. You know what I mean? So, oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But after a while, you shouldn't be on a secure credit card. Um, if you guys have been on a secure credit card for X amount of years, please let me know because that shouldn't be happening. And then I'll show you how to get out of that. But you do have to have good credit. And you do have to show that you make on time payments. But that's how you build. You want to build with an unsecured credit card, not a debit card or a rush card or a baby fat card. Okay. I know it's Chime. It's a whole lot of other ones. Stay away from the secure credit card if you're building. Okay. Chill, get your credit fixed. And then after your credit's fixed, go after them big boys. Go for the Amex. You deserve it. Go after Navy Federal. You deserve it. Okay. Reward yourself. And then as you get these credit cards, make sure you're getting credit cards that benefit you. Get the credit cards that you can do a cash rewards for. You can cash out the points. You can cash out the points and pay the annual fee to, right? Maybe you have a card that you specifically use for gas. So then you want a credit card that is for transportation, right? Because gas and transportation hand in hand. Cash that joint out. And then your point, you get all these points, cash them out, and you're just constantly paying the bill just for your gas, not missing a payment. Okay. That's how you build. And what's going to happen? You're going to see all these on time payments with this open credit card, and that triggers the banks to call you and give you a whole bunch of offers and to increase your credit limit. You can't do that with a secure credit card. All right. So you're going to naturally build your credit that way. Another way to build your credit after you fix your credit, or in some cases during, but you want the best interest rate. So that's why I'm saying do your credit repair first, and then you go ahead and applying for those top credit cards are hard to get. Do you have a certain method to get them approved? Yeah, I was actually just talking about that. So, what I recommend is you fix your credit, and you have to know what to say. You have to say the right things when you're applying for a credit card, whether you're applying for personal or business. So, let me help you out here. This is what I tell my clients. If you're applying for a credit card, you want to say that you are a high wage earner with low expenses. Okay? That's basically the thing here. Um, for example, if every geographical area is different. So if you're trying to apply for a credit card, regardless, or a loan, have it in your head. What is your annual salary? This is what I was taught. This somebody taught me and it worked for me. Okay. So I have an annual salary in my head. At the time, I was really a high wage earner. So at that time, I think it was like I was making 80,000 a year. Plus I had money, additional money coming from here, here, and here. And my mortgage was not that high, and I didn't have a lot of expenses. My car was paid off at the time, things like that. So they're going to ask you that. They're going to say, what type of job do you do? Now, you can't be a high wage earner working the fries at McDonald's. Doesn't work. I'm just saying. So I actually had a high position. So you want to be a high wage earner, low expenses, and a position where it's believable that you're a high wage earner. Okay. Nobody checks these things. So say what you got to say, do what you got to do to get what you need. All right. Um, the higher your credit score is, the less information you have to give. You wind up doing what's called stated income. And that's usually for loans, where you could just say, hey, this is my income. Hey, this is what I do. And that's usually good enough for loans. And for credit cards, it's pretty similar. But that's why you need to fix your credit first, because when you fix your credit and you get the score that you need, they don't ask questions. They don't ask a lot of questions. It's when you have a low score and your credit profile is messed up that you have to start explaining yourself. Okay. And we're grown folks and we're trying to get out of explaining ourselves all the time. This is my money. I'm entitled to credit. You are entitled to credit. So do what you got to do, say what you got to say. They will ask you your employment. And what they're actually doing is they're looking, in some cases, with if you're asking for a loan, they want to see if you're consistent with the type of jobs you have. So if you're all over the place, and let's say your credit report, they might be looking at your credit report or your credit karma, and you used to work the fries, and now you are a flight attendant, and you just got this job. Some loans go that deep, but some people you could just they'll ask you like, hey, can you explain what happened? But in most cases with a credit card, they're not asking that. Those are not people that specialize in making decisions like that. They just ask the basic questions. High income, low expenses, um and a job that makes sense, where it makes the money make sense. In some cases, they ask you what you're going to use the card for. Um, I don't really. Oh, when they ask me, I just say basic stuff like, household stuff, get around. They are trying to get a sense of how you're going to pay this back, how you're going to pay your credit cards down and pay them back. So, just say something like that. But if you're just like, oh, I'm gonna be chilling and take vacation, and then nah, no, I'm just planning on being very responsible, paying some bills. When I don't have any cat, like that's if they ask you, but keep it short and simple. Please don't run your mouth. Less is more. Okay, less is more. Okay, I'm glad you got it. Cool beans. I'm gonna show you a little thumb. All right, so that's a different way to build. I know I started off saying something before you asked your question, but if anybody remembers, just remind me in the comments. But another way to build is just basically getting approved for things, applying for things, and getting approved. You want to start getting a mixture of credit going on, not just a whole bunch of credit cards. And don't forget, times have changed. Trade lines don't hold the same weight that they used to during the pandemic. They help with certain things, they help manipulate a score. But when you're trying to get approved for loans and credit cards, now they're looking side eye at those authorized users. So, authorized users and trade lines are beneficial if you're trying to get a car, for example, if you're trying to just do something to get the score up, but you also plan on doing other things and getting other types of credit, cool. But you don't want your credit profile just to have a whole bunch of authorized users. Okay. One or two is fine, but you want the rest of your mixture to be primary. Okay. So, how do you get a primary account, Maya? Glad you asked. So, let's say you're paying rent. There's ways you can report your rent to Experian. You can report your rent to the other credit bureaus. Find these companies. I used to know them. Right. Find these companies that are going to report, but you want the one that's going to report um, to all three credit bureaus, and hopefully find one that reports beyond 2 years. Okay. That is you developing a mixture. It's not just the credit cards. So now you have the credit cards that you applied for. Authorized users falls under the credit cards. Now you're reporting your rent, right? If you have a mortgage, that should be reporting. If it's not reporting, contact your mortgage company and say make sure you're reporting it. Sometimes they are reporting that you have a loan with them, but they're not reporting what the status is until you make a negative payment. Okay. That doesn't help you. So if you see that on your credit report where it's like, it's just blank, give them a call and say, listen, I need y'all to report that I'm paying you on time. It's not difficult. It's very simple. If they can report nothing, they are still doing some sort of update. All they have to do is just simply enter in the fact that you paid and you paid on time. Okay. They shouldn't have to just wait for you to fuck up. So now you have credit cards, right? Now you have your housing situations. If you have a car, definitely that's a mixture. Now you got a mixture going. I did another video where I break down what makes up a credit score. I will post it in here as soon as I edit everything for today. But if you look at the mixture of your credit and how your credit score is calculated, Um, I think it's like 15. Like if you have 15 or more different types of accounts going on, then that helps your credit score. Not by too much, but enough to make an impact on it. I have some people that come to me and they have like a perfect payment history. They don't have a lot of inquiries and their score is not where they want it to be. And they're like, they're at a rut. They feel like they're at a rut, and it could be just that one small thing. You don't have a good mixture. Okay. Or maybe you don't have enough years. So maybe you have 4 years of credit history showing because you had your student loan that was 16 years old, but a year ago you decided you wanted to open up a new account that takes away your 16 years. Right. So now you boiled down to 4 years or 6 years. So now that means you're fair. You have a fair mixture. You don't have a good mixture, which will help your credit score. Right. So that's where trade lines come in. So if you do get a trade line, if I have to do a video on trade lines, again, an updated version, because I know I got an old school version from back in the day when I was doing trade lines. If anybody wants me to go into trade lines in detail, leave a comment and I will do a whole video on thorough on trade lines. Maybe go live if anybody wants to talk about it. But yeah, so get a trade line that is an age trade line. If you're going for business credit, you want to get a shelf corp or you want to where you're absorbing age. Okay. Okay. You said please. All right. Just remind me. Like I should remember, but just, hey, don't forget we want to see, a video on trade lines. But yeah, I'll do that because I keep talking about, hey, yeah, I did a video on it, and then I'm searching like, oh, I did this like 3 years ago. So I will do an updated one on trade lines. But you want to show age. What does age say about your credit report? When you have age on your credit report, it shows that you're trustworthy with other people's money for a long period of time. The longer you are deemed as trustworthy with other people's money, the more banks are able to trust in you. So let's say, for example, boom, I am 30, right? Let's say I'm 30 years old, but I never really paid attention to my credit. I got my credit fixed. I had a lot of deletions. It's showing that I have basically no credit. I get on a trade line, my credit score is banging. All right, cool. But it is showing I'm on somebody else's account. I'm piggybacking on it. So it's like, that ain't you though. That's your score, but that ain't you though. That's how the banks are going to look at you. And then they're going to say, how old is her credit? Oh, she doesn't have any credit, but she has a score of like 700. But okay, cool. Well, no, you're not going to have seven. Let's say 650, 650. So what they'll say is, okay, I can't feel comfortable giving you this money because I don't know what you're going to do with it. You haven't given us a track record of how you are with money. So, if I do give you money, I'm going to make it the highest interest rate possible because I don't trust you. And just in case you mess up my money, all right, it's all good because I put this high interest rate on you. That's how that works. But let's say I'm 30 and I have 5 years of credit history and I'm trying to get an Amex card or I'm trying to get a house or whatever. I'm applying for credit. What they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, she has a good mixture. I like that. So she's not just stacking up trade lines and hopping on everybody else's stuff. I like the fact that she pays everything on time. That's cool. But she's only been paying on time for like 5 years. That's all right. I will still give her a high interest rate, but it's just not going to be too high. Okay. You want the sweet spot for age when you're asking for a loan. Again, not so much with a car loan. They don't really care about age. Okay. Not so much with a mortgage. As long as you have at least, unless things have changed, as long as you have at least 4 months worth of credit, I think you're straight. But when you're asking for a loan, a line of credit, things like that, nah, you got to show and prove that I can hold my own for a while. So the sweet spot is typically 7+ years. 7+ years, y'all. Okay. Now you're like, well, I'm fixing my credit. How am I going to show the years? Let me This is how it works, right? Sometimes I was just teaching somebody this. The devil is in the details. Sometimes you have negatives on your credit report that you can flip into a positive. What do you mean by that, Tamiya? I'm glad you asked. So let's say, and I did a video on this, let's say you have a student loan. Everybody's so quick to get rid of the student loans. Oh my gosh, Biden's going to forgive. That was already out. But anyway, Biden's going to forgive. This can be discharged. I can get disability and discharge and file for bankruptcy, blah, blah, blah. Right? Nah. Let's fix it and flip it. Let's take all those missed payments because remember, you're 40 something years old. You went to school or graduated like 20 years ago. So you have 20 years of history. It's bad history, right? Bad history, but it's 20 years. Don't get rid of it. Make that 20 years positive. Flip those missed payments. Make that part of your plan. So now, if we're building on your credit, you have credit cards, your authorized user, right? Open lines of credit, unsecured lines of credit, right? So you're starting to be trustworthy a little bit. Now you got some age to you and you're reporting your rental history, you're reporting your mortgage. This is making you look pretty good, credit worthy. This is you building credit. Another thing you can do is you can be a co-signer if your credit's strong enough now. Remember, you fixed your credit. You got the score where you need it to be. Now you could just co-sign left and right. Be careful though. I did another video. Basically, don't be the idiot that co-signs for the other idiot. Okay, chill regular. But let's say, I don't know, maybe you're making the payments for someone else's car or furniture or clothing, store credit. That's another mixture because store credit is not a line of credit you can cash out. Okay. So if you can apply for like a Sam's Club card, Target, Walmart, you know what I mean, go ahead and do it. I think that's I don't have those cards, but there's Target has a store card. I think it's called a red card. I think Walmart, I think, is a regular credit card. But anyway, get yourself a store card. If you want to co-sign for other people, go ahead and do so. Just make sure that the payments are on time. There's a key to that. Like, let's say you accidentally, by the way, you are an authorized user on somebody's stuff and their card and they mess up, just let me know. It's a very simple fix. Okay. It will drop your credit score immediately, but quickly respond. Don't let that drag out. It's a simple, fast fix. Okay. So chill with that. But things happen. And another thing is a lot of companies know things happen. Also, keep in mind that we did just get out of a pandemic. So sometimes all you need to do is just explain yourself. When you're applying for credit cards and they're like, well, how come you don't have X amount of years? Where did it go? Blah, blah, blah. COVID messed me up. COVID, everything. Okay. So now you're talking about the mixture. Now you're talking about building. This is one of the many ways you can build on your credit. You want your credit to stand firm on its own by itself. Be careful connecting with people stating that they can do primary accounts. If you want me to get into that, I'll probably talk about that when I talk about the trade lines. But I had a young lady reach out to me the other day that told me something about trade lines and how she can get primary accounts and for a year. And I was like, okay, just do your research. You know what I mean? But not everybody's legit. Okay. Not everybody's legit. I try to get a couple primaries for my people. The guy just totally disappeared. So I'm glad I didn't send anybody over because what they do is they may take your money, not really do anything, or if they do something, it might be like one time. It's not consistent. You need consistency. You need consistency. Sorry. Right. So then after you repaired, then you built your credit up. Now what? Get more credit. Get some credit. Get that crib, get that house. Okay. Get a couple cars, do what you got to do. If that's your thing, get whatever is part of your plan. If your plan is to get a house, get a house. If your plan is to get multiple houses and start Airbnb in it, um, get a company and start getting business credit. Get that off your personal credit. The reason why is utilization is mad different on the business side. Um, it's just different. You can spend and spend and spend as long as you're paying at least the minimum balance regularly on those cards, you're golden. Okay. The utilization is not existent on the business side. Personal credit, you can't do that. But anyway, so yeah, just start living the life that you wanted to live with good credit. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Be wise about it. Continue to educate yourself because things are forever changing. Like I stated, that FICO 10C is a beast. It is a beast, and it's here to for the next 5 years. And what are they going to do during the next 5 years? They're going to try to perfect the FICO 10T so they can master it and create the FICO 11Z. I don't know. Like you saying, like just it's going to be to the point where you just can't do what you want to do and move freely. The ultimate goal is to try to get business credit. And if you don't have a business, create a business. I don't care if you're a professional light flicker. You be a company where you are the best professional light flicker, the most needed, like whatever. I'm over exaggerating, but create something. A lot of you guys have talents that you haven't tapped into because you didn't think about it. Again, that's why you should have a plan. Talk to me. If you're scheduling a consultation with me, talk to me. Let's make this plan work for you. Anything can happen. I'm tired of my clients scheduling consultations saying to me, "Oh, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know until I talked to you." It's like, why not? You can do whatever you want. Just fix your credit. Okay? Like I say, cash is king, credit is queen, right? Make it work for you. Cash out some of these trade lines that you have. Make moves. Pay things back. Have the credit cards pay for each other. That's a whole other conversation. Mr. DJ Jones, is Dun and Bradstreet the correct way to go about getting business credit? Yeah, yes. I actually have a video on that. But yeah, you want to create a Duns number. You want to get a Duns number when you create a company, when you create a business. You want to obviously have a tax ID number, and they're going to start reporting and tracking you. You're not tracked until you have that, and you want to get a uh, your credit report, a NAV account. A NAV account is, you know how you have FICO on your personal side, you're going to have NAV on your business side, and yes, hmm so you should have a couple of credit bureaus on there reporting how you move. So, not to go into this too deep because that's not the key thing today is talking about business credit. I can do that if you guys want me to talk about business credit, just let me know in the comments, right? But one of the things that you could do is um when you start working on business credit, you want to create your business credit, make sure your personal is cool, and you want to apply for credit building credit cards. Like for example, gas cards, right? On your business side, not your personal side, right? On your business side, just start stacking if you can. Mind you, those are net 30s, net 60s, but you're building your business at the same time, especially if you can't afford to do what you got to do to get the higher limit lines of credit. But if we structure a plan, if we structure your plan together, you should be good. You shouldn't need to do that, right? But make sure you're set up correctly and properly with your business. I see you. Okay, definitely. Make sure your business is set up properly. Make sure you have the duns and all that together, your NAV account, and you're applying for what you need to apply for. Don't ever get discouraged, whether it's personal or business, that you're applying for a high dollar amount and you don't get the exact number you're looking for, but they give you something. That's fine. Start with that and let it grow and build from there. You can build business credit pretty quickly, and it doesn't take a year if you're doing this correctly, if you're playing your cards right, if you're following your plan. You can you can get up to 100 plus $1,000 well within 6 months to a year if you're doing things correctly. Okay, but it starts off with personal credit. Yes, you can do things without that and having bad credit. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know that way. I tried to learn that way and force myself, and it just that wasn't my twist. It's too scammy. It's too scammy. It's just too involved. Like, just sometimes chicken noodle soup always works. You dig me? So fix your credit, get the high score, have your mixture or whatever. If you want, get a shelf corp. We can get into that too. Buy a shelf corp, but understand this is not free. This is not 1999 type talk. This ain't it. Okay, this ain't it. But this is an investment in your future. Another thing, I can't want this more than y'all. You guys have to want to better yourself, better your situation more than I do. Okay, I run into that a lot. Stop looking for handouts. Stop looking for the shortcuts. Stop looking for free stuff, discounted stuff all the time. That's not good all the time. I give out free game, but I also have a service. You understand? Everything is not free and cheap and discounted. And if you're looking for that, again, don't schedule a consultation with me. Just don't. I'm here for the people that are serious and want to make moves and better their situation and be done with me because they're educated now. All right. Now, another thing is quickly, I want to get into the bankruptcy. So when you're fixing your credit, bankruptcies don't always need to be removed. If it's part of your plan, then cool. But if you're trying to purchase a house and you have a 2-year-old discharged bankruptcy, leave it alone. I know you don't like it and how it looks on there, but bankruptcies can take a while to come off your credit report. Okay. If you're trying to get a house like yesterday, just chill. Like, it's not necessary. Worry about that after you get your house if it's really bothering you like that. Yes, and it's an eyesore. It is what it is, but you could still build while you have bad bankruptcy on your credit report. So don't stress that. Pretend it's not there. If anything, I would remove the negative accounts that are closed that really aren't really affecting you either, but whatever. But I would remove the accounts that are under the bankruptcy, just to pretty it up a little bit. But other than that, leave that bankruptcy on there. It's closed, it's discharged, nobody cares. They really don't care nowadays. They don't care. The mortgage company doesn't care. Credit card companies don't care. They're trying to push this line of credit on you. They're trying to give you money with the hopes and the expectations that you're going to fail. And if you don't, cool, we'll give you more money, and maybe you'll fail. Because if you fail, then we can come after you. But okay, you're paying us on time. Hey, it's a win-win until you fail. Okay, that's what they're all hoping for. Nobody's on your side. You have to be on your own side and figure out how to make this work for yourself. All right, so there's that. The bankruptcy, if you are doing something where you need the bankruptcy off, like getting business credit, you do need to get the bankruptcy off. There are companies that will approve you with a bankruptcy, slim to none. And that's when you're walking that fine line of like the shady people. Not going to get the best deals from the best people. I have a guy now. My guy at PNC, they say there's a 70% chance that you're going to be denied. But I have a client that's willing to take that shot. I agree. Because everything else is perfect on his credit, like super perfect. So why not try? All you're going to do is tell me no. I can handle it. Plus you're getting it worked on, so whatever. So, but when it comes to a car, things like that, no. But business credit, yeah, you got to get that off. Okay. Also, in getting bankruptcies off a credit report isn't always a huge credit score jump like people think. It depends on what is on your credit report already. All right. So keep that in mind, because I've taken bankruptcies off of people's credit reports and their score went up 15 points and they got mad at me. Like, you got other stuff. You told me just to remove the bankruptcy. You didn't say anything about this repo. You didn't say anything about this child support or this eviction. Mm-mm. Right? So it just depends. Again, credit is about averages. All right. Bankruptcies and student loans. So we're going to like quickly brush up on student loans. Again, if you want me to go in fuller detail about any of this stuff, just leave a comment. Say, hey, Tamaya, can you talk more about bankruptcies? Can you talk more about student loans? Whatever. Okay. Now, student loans, I am so glad that a lot of y'all, you got your discharge. Congratulations. Good for you, I guess. I'm going to say it like that. I'm not a hater. Never have been, never will be. Regardless who you are, I'm not a hater. But there's so much you can do with a positive student loan that's not discharged. Especially you ain't got it like that. I mean, unless you got it like that, you ain't got it like that. So if you have a student loan for $600,000 and you can make that a positive and it's showing 20 years, 15 years, 25 years, keep it. Don't discharge it. Keep it. And then that's going to be a $600,000 primary trade line on you that's old as hell. Man, you go ahead and start applying for all them credit cards. Get what you got to get quickly. Student loans. I mean, yes, you have options. You can get them. I can get them discharged for you. If you want your student loans discharged, let me see if you qualify. Schedule a free consultation at fixmycredit50.com. All right. And then we'll see. I mean, I work for you. Your plan is your plan. I'm only here to assist, help you, guide you with your plan, but this is still your plan. I'm going to give you an opinion. I'm going to tell you what the outcomes could be based off of your decision making. And if you still are adamant about getting your student loans discharged, it's your life. There's no judgment. Again, this is a judgment free zone. I need to update my banner. Judgment free zone. I don't need to hear the backstory. Judgment free zone. Okay. So your student loans can work to your benefit. It can also hinder you depending on what your debt to income ratio is if you're trying to purchase a home. I am not a real estate agent. I am not a lender. So talk to your lender, or if your lender sent you over to me or you've connected me to your lender, just let us do the communication and we'll update you. Some people do need it not necessarily discharged and wiped off your credit report. What you might need is for the monthly to go down or the balance to drop, something. I'm just not a firm believer of just like, you work so hard to have this student loan, right? Let it finally work for you and get your money, get that credit. But a lot of people, they take it personally. So, yeah, that's part of building your credit. Fix your credit. You want to repair it, you want to build it, and then you want to get more credit. Because by this time, you should be a master at maintaining your credit and making goals. What's the next goal? All right, now you got the business, you got the good personal credit. What now? You want to open up another business? Great. Because keep in mind, you only got one social security number, but you have as many EIN numbers as possible. Think about it. And get your bread. Have a plan. All right. So it's officially in a few seconds going to be an hour that I was on here, that I took up y'all time. I appreciate it. Again, today was mad interesting. It's a little nutty buddy. So it is what it is. But you guys, I want to say thank you again. My subscribers just keep going up. I respect that. I respect that y'all trust me. You know what I mean? Showing y'all West Coasters some East Coast love. Philly representing all day. But I appreciate being on the West Coast as well. And I appreciate helping everybody. And I appreciate that you guys trust me in our scheduling consultations. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and schedule a consultation with me. All right. Join my Facebook groups, especially fixmycreditnow850.com. I'm sorry, I keep doing that. What's my Facebook group name? Credit and First Time Home Buyers Plug. Check out the description. And I show results all the time. All the time I show results. All right. Well, I will see you guys soon. I'm sure I'm going to do another random live at some point. But in the meantime, you guys be cool. Again, this is Tamiya Robles, the owner of Fix My Credit Now 850.com. You are at Coast to Coast Credit Podcast, and I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye bye.